Hello everyone, Panda here and welcome back to ShrineWatch. And we've got a busy couple of weeks, I'd imagine, for at least most DBD content creators and possibly a lot of you players. This week on Friday, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game comes out, the new 3v4 asymmetrical game that I honestly have never seen such a large percentage of the Dead by Daylight community go over and try a game during the playtest, watch it, enjoy it, have fun with it. You know, it was a lot of fun. Is this game gonna pose a meaningful competition to Dead by Daylight? And will it nail the gameplay loop and the replayability that Dead by Daylight has seemed to thrive on for the last 7 years? We're gonna have to wait and see on that one. They're adding in loads of character progression, talent trees, you know, it seems to be it's going to be a lot of content, so really interested to see how that's going to play out. I, of course, am going to play both. I'll have some content here on YouTube for Texas Chainsaw and over on Twitch, but of course still also the Dead by Daylight. And then the week after, in 2 weeks, we have the launch of the Alien chapter, which I am extremely excited about. I think it's going to be an absolute blast. I loved playing on the PTB, thought the killer was really fun. People don't seem to think that he's that strong, or also that his perks aren't that great. But we're going to have to see what they do if they nerf or buff anything from the PTB when the actual servers update to the new chapter. Now, on the 29th of August, when the chapter comes out, we can see that we're going to have a basic quality skin for the Xenomorph up on the store. Also, a very rare skin. These are both linked, but because it is the Xenomorph, I can sort of understand why this is happening. And also 2 separate very rare skins for Ellen Ripley. And first off, that's just exciting for me because I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the alien skin. Are they going to go with some different variation of the skin? And also, what's going to happen for Ripley? Are we going to see something from the future films? Are we going to see bald Ripley from Alien 3? Are we going to see Alien in her sort of Reeboks and her tank top from Aliens? I don't know, I'm excited to see it. We could even possibly get other members of the crew just skinned in, like we have James and etc. for Cheryl. But what I want to look at is the alien skins and some more information that we have about those. So Dveet over on Twitter posted this image. This is of the character rig when you put it into Blender. So this is what a lot of people use to check out skins, to basically data mine files, and also to make a lot of art and the cool YouTube thumbnails that a lot of people nowadays use. And on the rig, it's noted that there are extra arms coming out of the chest that are not actually skinned with the current skin, which, let's face it, it's pretty much a confirmation of the Alien Queen being a skin for the Alien when it launches. And look, I'm well aware that the Alien Queen is many times bigger than a normal drone or a normal alien warrior. We've got a little infographic here of how big Ripley is, how big a drone is, and how big the Queen is. And I was ready to suspend disbelief just to have a cool Alien Queen skin in the game. The Alien Queen is just such a magically impressive piece of design, and I just love it. It's honestly something that's just, I've always thought is the coolest thing probably in the world. But it's way bigger than a drone and stuff, so how would it work? Well, someone on my stream said that the Alien Queen is born as a chest burster, and then it's got to grow up to be the Queen. So maybe it's just a state where the Alien Queen has grown up a little bit, but it's not fully formed. That to me actually makes perfect sense. I don't know what a mid-sized Alien Queen would look like. I've never even considered the thought. Obviously in Alien 3 we see that there is a Queen chestburster in Ripley. Spoilers, by the way, but let's face it, the film is like 25 years old. But the Alien Queen came out, you know, it's a chestburster, it's got to grow up. Maybe we will see the halfway point, and I would love to see that. I feel like I've read a bunch of the novels, a bunch of the comics, watched all the films, played the games. I don't think I've ever seen a midway Alien Queen. Anyway, I can see no other reason that they would have sculpted these little extra arms into the chest, little baby T-Rex arms, so I find that incredibly exciting. In this week's patch, the report feedback feature has now been put online, and if you report someone in the end game using one of the options and behavior looks at it and takes action, you will get a little pop-up telling you what has happened, which I think is actually fantastic. For the longest time, people have joked about the fact that if you report someone in Dead by Daylight, it does absolutely nothing. But I am seeing screenshots of people who have had action taken against players that they reported, and that is honestly incredibly relieving. I have yet to see this pop-up popping up to tell me that someone has had action taken against them, but I do eagerly await that pop-up, and I do hope it happens at some point because I just feel like that just makes it worth, and potentially even makes players play a little bit nicer or be less harassy or just, I don't know, I feel like it sort of changes the tone a lot around people being dicks, especially in endgame chat, if you can just report them and you can actually tell the actions being taken. So good job, Behavior, looking out for that pop-up myself. Have you experienced this? Have you had the pop-up? Seems pretty cool. Hotstarver put out on Twitter a really well-made little comparison video, and this is super interesting. Now, this is basically about the new perk Rapid Brutality, the alien perk, where you can no longer go into Bloodlust, and if you hit a survivor with a basic attack, you get 5% haste for 10 seconds. Now, I've got to say, when I first saw this, I thought this seemed amazing. Like, I love the idea of it, and when I used it on the PTB, I actually had a lot of fun. However, the general consensus is that it's absolute dog crap, so apparently don't listen to anything that I've got to say. But here is a visualization of the catch-up and how it works. So first up, the time that you can hit a survivor, they can run, and you can hit them again with a basic attack, 20.8 seconds. With Rapid Brutality, where you get that 10 seconds of 5% haste, it's dropped down to only 18.6 seconds. Fully stacked Save the Best for Last chips off an impressive amount at 15.6 seconds, and then both Save the Best for Last at 8 stacks and Rapid Brutality brings your knockdown to 13.4 seconds. And I've got to say, what I initially took from this is that I was absolutely amazed that if you hit a survivor and then just run in a straight line until you can hit them again with no extra perks, it's 20.8 seconds. That's insane. So basically, if anyone gets hit by the killer and then goes down in less than 20.8 seconds, essentially, they've done worse than just running in a straight line. That kind of blows my mind. Really interesting though, and with both of them 13.4 seconds. I mean, that seems like that's obviously the perfect scenario. They've got no pallets, they've got no loops, no windows or anything. You're just chasing them down, but 13.4 seconds seems pretty big. Anyway, it seems to be that the trade-off for not having Bloodlust is what's really going to screw this perk over. It's going to make some loops uncatchable, especially when some players are using Made for this. It's just going to be a tricky situation. Some people have come out and said that this is the killer version of Made for this. However, it really is not. Made for this, still super strong as far as pretty much everyone is concerned, and as far as I'm concerned, a total bullshit perk. Will we see Rapid Brutality buffed up on the actual release? I feel like we might do. I don't know what they're going to do to it, but hopefully they address it and make it a bit better. Usually when they put out a licensed chapter, especially a big chapter, they ship it with a perk, you know, for the killer that's really going to change the game. However, I don't think that any of the alien perks really are that game-changing. So, are they going to fix them? I imagine they're probably going to change it so it's strong. Because then people buy the chapter, you know, people are going to buy it anyway, I'm going to buy it. Personally, when playing on the PTB, having Saved the Best for Last and Rapid Brutality just was so insane as the alien, because you could hit them once, chase them down, use the tail attack at range, and you could just close down chases so damn fast. Anyway, let's move on from that before I get too tilted by thinking about Made for this. We had the Silent Hill collection drop, although it was just one skin, which added in Maria, which we talked about previously. I don't know how that they have called this a collection when it is just one singular skin and you can't even buy it in separate parts. It just comes as one thing for 1,485 Oryx cells, which is a huge amount. 1,485 Oryx cells. In fact, it's discounted from 1,650 Oryx cells? That is absolute insanity. I was actually considering buying that until I've just seen the price there. My god. And we also had the rest of the modern Baroque sets. This one here for Zarina. I'm not sure exactly what I feel about that. The Artist with her Thornflower set. I really like the helmet. The rest of it, not too much of a big fan. It's actually kind of cool. It kind of keeps with the Artist aesthetic. The Fashion Night set for Elodie. I'm actually quite a big fan of this. Looks really, really cool. Nice detail. And the Discourteous Revenge skin for the Wraith. I really like the weapon. The weapon looks cool. The rest of it, I don't know. Kind of interesting. Bottom half, at least, doesn't really mesh well with this skin. But I'm sure we will see some players who really enjoy it. So, GG. And with the August roadmap that Behavior released, they did release it like 2 weeks into August, which seemed a little bit weird, but if they're going to do monthly roadmaps, I am okay with that. We can see that next week, on August 22nd, we're having the Monster Slayer collection, and I've got to be honest, I've got no idea what this could look like, but wait a second. No, that's an old skin. All right, that's the futuristic Jonah skin. Yeah, I've got no idea what the Monster Slayer collection could be. Gonna just have to wait till next week, but could be interesting, I guess. And then, of course, in week 5, we've got the Alien release, the Alien Collection, and also a free trial weekend from the 31st to the 4th of September. So I'm assuming that's just going to be every single different platform. Interesting, you know. Good chance to get a few friends into the game, drag them into some trials, see if they like dying or escaping or killing. And tomorrow on the 17th, the Scorching Barbecue is going to end. So if you didn't get your full Clown set or your full Jake set, maybe it's time to jump on and smash out a few challenges like I'm doing today. And I don't think I mentioned this previously, but I've got some bad news, and that is that the Prime rewards for the rest of the year, we've had them before, they've been skins, they've had Eerie Shards, we've had Blood Points, but it has been confirmed that the drops for the rest of the year are going to be 400,000 Blood Points every single month, which I am just very disappointed by. I wish they could just do a very low effort, basic recolor of some skins and just put them out with that. And I don't think I would be this disappointed if they hadn't given out some cool stuff in the previous months. It just seems like really low effort. So maybe over the next 6 months, behavior will do something, you know, change it up a little bit, but currently it's looking a little bit bleak. And before we check out the shrine, just a reminder, it would be great if you came and followed me over on Twitch, where I stream weekly, multiple times, and we have a great time. Our first piece of fan art is the new Yui skin from Enigma System. Looking really good, got her wrench in her hand to repair her motorcycle up. Looking cool. Second up from Cake, and I'm really loving this idea. There's been a few bits of discussion about it, but essentially you get to the end game, you're playing as Alien, the survivors have beat you, they're waiting for you to come around, but instead you are just down in your little cozy tunnels, chilling out on your own. You know, they can't teabag you, they can't hurt you, you're down there, you're chilling. I really like this idea. I just like scurrying around in those tunnels, honestly. But that is the Alien fanboy in me busting out. And lastly up from Marco Racina, something I can very much relate to, the Singularity with his weird contorted body. And honestly, every time I look at the Singularity, I just have to stretch my back out because I realize that I'm actually turning into Larry. Just a little posture check for everyone out there, straighten yourselves out. So that is the news and the cosplays. Let's have a little look at the shrine. First perk is a detective tap perk, and it is Tenacity. You can move 50% faster and recover while you're down on the ground, and also your sounds are reduced by 75%. Next up, we've got a Gabriel perk. We've got Troubleshooter. While you're being chased, the perk will activate, and you'll be able to see the aura of the gen with the most progress. You see the aura of the killer for 6 seconds after dropping a pallet, and the effect lasts for 10 seconds after being in a chase. I guess I've not really even considered this perk before. I don't know what I think about it. It's a new perk at least, so grab it, maybe. And over on Killer, we've got the classic Legion perk, Mad Grit. While carrying a survivor, you can spam away your attack and you will not suffer any cooldown. You can absolutely just enter into a flurry here. And if you hit a survivor while they're on your shoulder, it will pause their wiggle timer for 4 seconds. This is great when paired with agitation, so you can just literally move faster than survivors, hit them, maybe they're gonna body block you on the hook, and it just feels so good to just keep on chopping and chopping and chopping, and the person on your shoulder just can't wiggle. And our final perk is a pig perk, and it is Surveillance. Any regressing generator will be highlighted in a white aura, and if a survivor touches it and stops it regressing, it will go yellow for 16 seconds. People working on generators can also be heard at an extra 8 meters, and I think this perk actually, after using it today, is a lot of fun. Like, combine it with oppression, and I actually felt like I was getting some serious value out of it. Well, thank you very much for watching ShrineWatch, everyone. I hope that you've enjoyed this week's episode. Come follow me over on Twitch. Have an absolutely wonderful time. Probably see you with some Texas Chainsaw Massacre footage and gameplay before then. Take care of yourselves. Panda out.